This is Masechet Pesachim, Daf Kuf Tes Vav Amud Aleph, and on the very bottom of the Amud, we're introduced to the sources for urchatz at the Seder. Amar of Lezer, Amar of Oshia. Kol shetibula b'mashke tzarech netilas yadayim. Anything dipped in a liquid, like a vegetable, dipped in a liquid, tzarech netilas yadayim, needs to have netilas yadayim. Just like we have netilas yadayim for bread, so too the same is true for wet vegetables. And presumably this statement of Rav Oshia is being made here in reference to our Mishnah, where we learned that the maror is dipped into a liquid. And therefore the maror, or the karpas, needs netilas yadayim beforehand because of the fact that wet liquids require netilas yadayim. Amar Rav Papa. Rav Papa says, Shema Mina, we can learn from here that Hai Chasa, that the Chasa, meaning the maror, Tzarech l'shakue b'charoses mishum kappa, needs to be completely submerged in the charoses because of kappa. Kappa is a concern for a poison that existed on the maror, either in the lettuce itself or as a result of certain bugs that might have been poisonous and existed sometimes on the lettuce. And there was this concern, a health concern of eating the lettuce. So therefore, they dipped the maror into the charoset because the charoset would mitigate any danger resulting from the kappa in the lettuce. So that's the reason for the dipping of the maror in the charoses. But what we see from here is that it's dipped all the way in. If you didn't need to put it all the way in, you were just dipping in a bit, netilas yadayim lamali, why would there be a need for netilas yadayim? Halo naga, you're not touching where it's wet. You'd only require netilas yadayim if the entire vegetable is wet. If you're not touching where it's wet, there'd be no need for netilas yadayim. Maybe it's possible that really you don't need to submerge the maror in the kappa. The kappa merecha mayas, and the concern from the kappa is removed just by being the smell of the charoses, so just being close to the charoses without actually being dipped all the way in. Ela lamali netilas yadayim. So why would I require netilas yadayim before washing the maror if it's not completely wet? Dilma mashkulei, because we're concerned that just in case, you don't really need netilas yadayim, but just in case a person would dip it all the way in, because we like the charoses so much, so therefore the chachamim would say that you should wash yadayim just in case. Ve'amar Rav Papa, and Rav Papa said, Lo nishei inish maror b'charoses, you shouldn't put the maror all the way in for too long. Dilma agav chalye de tavlin mevatale lemarira, because it's possible that if you leave the maror too long in the charoses, it would begin to taste sweet. Ube'inan tamaror v'leika, we need to have a bitter taste of the maror, which does not exist. Adbere Rav Chisda Ravina ukva v'darash. Rav Chisda brought Ravina ukva, and they expounded the following midrash: Notel yadav b'tibel rishon, notel yadav b'tibel sheni. Even if you wash the first time, you need to wash for the second time that you dip. Amrua kameidu Rabbana kameidu Rav Papa ha ba'alma itmar. The Chachamim said that this must have been stated in general, in reference to, in general, a case where a person would have two tibulim, two dips. If this statement of requiring two netilas yadayim was in reference to the Pesach Seder, netilas yadayim trei zimnei, lama li netilas yadayim trei zimnei, why would I require two washings? We already washed once for the karpas. Why would we need to wash again later on for the second time? In general, when a person has two dips, it's possible that the first time he dipped once and had no intention of dipping a second time, and therefore in between the two dips, he was not careful to keep his hands tahor, and therefore, if you want to eat again, you'd have to wash again. But here we know we're eating twice, so once you wash the first time, it should suffice for the second dip as well. Amarlu Rav Papa Adarabba. Rav Papa says it's the opposite. Hachi itmar was actually said in reference to the Pesach Seder. If you would think that it was referencing another time, who would ever have two tibulim? This is the only night of the year that we have two dips. So it must be here. So if it's about the Pesach Seder, why would we require to wash twice? He washed once, and with in mind, because he knew the second one was coming. Amri, we say, since there's a long interruption of the Haggadah and the Hallel, Dilma, it's possible, that his mind was distracted and stopped concentrating on maintaining the tahara of his hands. Vinaga, and he touched and he might have touched something tamei, and therefore would require to dayim again in order to eat a second time.